The opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And hello everyone, and welcome to Scarefest Television. I'm your host, Wes Forsythe, and tonight, of course, we have Felissa Rose, we have Billy Crank co-hosting, and we've just got a wonderful, wonderful night, and I don't want to waste too much time, but I'm going to give you everybody a heads up. We're going to give away a 3-day pass after the 30-minute mark. So if you would like to win, I'm going to ask a trivia question of all things. And so if you would like a chance at a 3-day pass, you've got 30 minutes to sign up on the Facebook fan group. The Scarefest Horror Celebrity Halloween, I don't think they ever changed the name. It's the group. The banner says the group, so you'll know that you have the right one. And of course, everybody, you can see nothing. The coronavirus has changed nothing about the show. We go forward just like always. So there. That's about all I got. Bring on Felissa. Welcome back to the show, dear. Now everybody.
I love you guys. Nothing can keep me away from you.
I have to say, of all the celebrities that I've ever dealt with doing the show, you are the first one to belly up to the bar, doll. When we invite you, you just come right on the show. But now that you're a big time podcaster, this probably just feels like at home for you.
It's definitely been fun. I love the podcast. Excuse my dogs. They want their own podcast, so we're gonna deal with that.
Yeah, for the record, everybody, I noticed
Casualty Friday. That's been fun.
I happen to know that she leaves her dog at home to do Casualty Friday. I'm actually now I'm gonna first part of this is a great compliment. I want to tell you I've watched a couple episodes of it, and that's like 2 more episodes than I've watched of any other podcast for the last 2 years. So because I just don't have time to do it, but so
thank you. I appreciate that so much.
Well, I mean, it has 2,
but I do.
It has 2 of my favorite people in the world on it, and Kane Hodder. So, I mean,
we won't tell him.
Well, he's already made death threats for me. It's all good. Anyway, but the only thing, y'all should have changed clothes between episodes. I just gotta say, anybody that sits and binge watches it says, well, hell, they just sat there all day and recorded a podcast, and they just cut it up.
I have to tell you the truth. That was my idea. I said, why aren't we changing clothes? But they said, oh, it doesn't matter. I kind of like the idea of being in something visually different and, stimulating.
Well, I mean, if it was any more stimulating, I don't think I could stand it. But in the old days when people would watch something and then they had to hunt for the reruns, but now on YouTube, I mean, that bitch is just sitting there suggesting one episode after another, and so I'm about I'm saying I'm starting to flip back and forth. Go, yeah, they didn't. But I understand why you do it that way, because not everybody has this intestinal fortitude to put myself through what I do every week.
Obviously, we do the podcast, all in a row. We do all the segments in a row. So that's why the video is shown the way it is. So.
Now, was that something that they brought to your attention? Was that an idea you all had been toying around with? How did that come to fruition? The 3 of you, big horror movie stars, by the way, doing a podcast.
Well, I work. Oh, look at you! Just relax. Chad. I like it. I'm about to open a bottle of wine.
You wouldn't be the first.
I was working on the Joe Bob Briggs show, and the producer of Joe Bob Briggs said, "Hey, let's do a podcast." And that's how that kind of came about, because we decided it would be fun if I got together with some friends. And I said, definitely Tiffany and Kane. And he said, let's do it for Fangoria. And it worked out.
Billy, over to you.
Hey, how you doing? I don't know. You probably don't remember me. You see so many people, but I kind of brushed elbows with you at the axe throwing. Did you?
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Did you throw any axes at all?
I did. I sucked. I was so bad. Yeah, that was rough. That was a hard.
Yeah, it takes a minute to get a hang of it.
Yeah.
Right on. What was your first role that you ever done?
In sleepaway camp when I was 13. You know,
you didn't do no theater,
Baker, and it was so fun. These dogs are going to be the bane of my existence.
Did you do any theater?
I did a lot of theater. Yeah, I did a lot of theater. I'm trained in the theater. I went to NYU and I studied stage, and then I lived in Manhattan, and I did a lot of off-Broadway and Othello, original shows, comedies, and that's really primarily where I'm trained. And then I kind of just had this love for film, and fortunately, you know, the horror industry, it was a love affair very quickly.
Right on. My first was, I was in outdoor drama, and I come home, and it was when I was younger. I came home and told my mom, I was like, I finally found my people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you get that connection with those kind of creative people, and it's awesome.
It is. It's like it's a family, and you just kind of, you know, embrace each other, and it's super fun.
Yeah. So who inspires you? Is there another actor or anybody? It doesn't have to be an actor, but is there somebody that inspires you?
Well, my children inspire me every day, and that's not to sound sappy. That's the truth. I mean, they keep me very grounded, and, you know, they're just amazing little people, and I learn from them all the time. And my mom is an awesome woman. And
Same here.
Just super cool. So, yeah, I'm fortunate to have a great mother.
Yeah, if it wasn't for my mom, she kicked me out of the car to act. She said, you're going to go in there and you're going to audition. I said, no, I'm too shy. And she said, you get in there, I'm going to kick your ass. And I got in there, and then I got it, and I can thank her for that. All right. Hey, it's good talking to you. Back to you, Wes.
Yeah, no, great talking to you. I love you guys.
And just to puff Billy up a little bit, he's like on every goddamn commercial that I see on TV locally. It's annoying to see him so much. Now, okay, this is something. Now, this is what I like about the podcast. We're getting.
You know, with me, you're gonna get the most organic interview ever, because there's always gonna be kids and dogs and craziness happening.
I did learn I had to lock my dogs downstairs because mine like to unplug shit. So
yeah,
but I'm with you on the dogs. One thing I like about the podcast. Now like I said, I've watched a couple. I think I'm into the third episode, but we're getting a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. In other words, the podcast is actually it's very personal. For three, I mean, divided up between three people, but you're not just talking about topics. You're talking about your own experiences. One of the things that I was curious about that you brought up on one of the episodes, we're having this little debate at the Scarefest. How do celebrities in general feel about karaoke?
Well, being that I know how all of them feel, I'll speak for myself. I suck at karaoke, but I love it. So we all want to be rock stars, and getting up there is just sort of that moment for us where we can, you know, pretend that we're our favorite, you know, artists. And again, I suck, but I love getting up there. I'm always at karaoke. I'm always like, oh, Felissa loves karaoke. I'm like, I really don't, but I, you know, get drunk and I do it.
Exactly. Exactly. The idea was floated to do that at our VIP party. We're wanting to do something completely different with our VIP party this year. And that was one of the ideas that was floated, because a lot of people are wanting to do it. Now, where we do it, okay, we're working on that. But it was like when we brought up about doing it at the VIP party, it was like we said, well, let's butcher babies while we're at it. It was just like, no, nobody will want to do that. And then I started doing all this research, and I'm finding all these celebrities that just think it's just the greatest thing ever because, like you said, have a couple cocktails, go up. And would you call it showing off?
It gets you loose. It makes everyone just kind of laugh. You can't take yourself too seriously. You know, in this is my motto, any, kind of part of life, just don't take so seriously and have a good time and laugh. And at the end of the day, you're better for it. So
I could not agree more. Now this is something actually I think I bitch about every time I talk to one of you big stars. I hate that all the horror movie people, producers, directors, when they get a big star in their movie, no matter how good or how bad the movie is, they put your name first. So when I search on Amazon Prime for Felissa Rose, I don't necessarily, it's not that I don't get the cream of the crop movie-wise. I tend to get a lot of movies that Felissa's big scene in the movie is walking through going. That being said, the one I did watch, and I want to discuss this movie a little bit. It's a couple years old, but I really liked it, and it leads into one of her projects that's coming up very soon. Family Possessions.
Yeah.
Family Possession. I liked it. My wife loved it. But where they gave you top billing, you should have played the mom part. I'm just going to say it. You should have played the mother in that movie because that teenage girl looked like you.
Oh, the lead girl?
Yes.
Yeah. You didn't think my blonde, blue-eyed daughter in the film looked like me?
No, I didn't. Well, I did not in any way think that she looked like you.
Tommy Faircloth, who is one of my closest friends, wrote it and directed it, as well as a new film we have coming out called The Nun's Curse. I was last seen with you while I was on that set. And I just think, sometimes they want you to play a cameo because that was meaty. The role I played, she was the
no, I'm not complaining. That was a movie worth watching all the way around, both to see you, to see the movie. I have to admit, I missed the ending by that much. And by saying that, I mean, I thought I had it all figured out, and then boom! I was completely wrong. Technically, I figured out the second ending because it kind of sneaks in a second ending there. I had that one figured. In other words, I thought that was going to be the first ending. That being said, I don't give spoilers. I just tell people don't leave early. But no, I love the role. But now the second part of this question is, I'm starting to see a pattern though in your parts. I'm seeing a lot of, I'm just going to say it, a lot of drunk bitches.
A lot of drunk bitches. That's good. Yeah. Because they're, those are the parts that are layered, that have a lot going on. As a character, they're typically written with a lot of layers, and that's fun for me as an actor to jump in and play something that's totally. I mean, look, Victor Crowley, I get to play the pill popping lunatic publicist, which was so fun. Hatchet 4, and Garlic and Gunpowder, I play a 500-pound mob boss.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Like this the whole movie.
You rocked that one. I'll give it to you. You really rocked that one.
Thank you. That was so fun.
Now, you're talking about layers. I just attribute it to you have a strong screen presence that can pull that shit off. That's just that's how I would put it. But I'm waiting. I'm just kind of waiting for that next love story or whatever, where you're the romantic interest.
Guess what? Do you want me to? So oh my God, this is hilarious. It's stay away from it. I just wrapped a film that I did for 3 weeks in Florida called Screen Test, where I work with a lot of the actors that I had been seen with before. Vincent Ward, Dave Sheridan. We have a great cast. Darby Hinton, Jeffrey Druce. And I might be playing the kind of sweet lead who has a love interest, which I never play. So that was fun.
Cool. Billy, I'm going to throw it back to you. We're just going to skip the commercial break because we're having so much fun, and then we'll just pile it all in the at the 30-minute mark. I do want to remind everybody, no, you don't have to go back to me. Do want to remind everybody, join the Scarefest fan group. We are going to give away a 3-day pass on that group page tonight.
Yay!
Let's do it!
Now, we've all seen crazy things happen at conventions, like just random shit happens, it just happens.
No.
All right, in your experience, what is one of the craziest or memorable things that's happened around you? One of them.
Do you really want me to tell a story?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, it's pretty well known. I went to Days of the Dead Chicago, and a certain man was kind of being a little forward with me, and I'm super close with Tony Moran. And Tony was told by a bunch of people that he was kind of harassing me, and he took the guy in the elevator and beat the shit out of him.
Oh, wow.
That's what happens at conventions. Shit goes down.
Yes,
and Bill Mosley looks at me the next day. He's like, yep, you were in the center of that one. I was like, well, I just like to go and have fun. And like I said, have a couple of cocktails. But that was definitely wild. And I loved Tony, and he was sticking up. It turns out the man was harassing all the women there. He was protecting all of us.
Right. Well, it's a good thing somebody had your back.
Yeah, he had. Yeah, he did. I love that man. Yeah. But we're all close. That's what the horror community is. I mean, we're a close-knit family, and we take care of each other. And, it's just everyone who attends conventions knows you have everyone else's back. And I would do it for the next person. So hopefully that won't happen. But, yeah, that was an interesting time.
He won't do that again. No.
Never know. It added a little spice.
Yeah. All right. What things in life remain a mystery to you?
Well, certainly the idea of I go see a medium. So certainly the idea of where we, how once we pass, like where exactly our physical and energetical, being goes. That's interesting to me. I am a believer in all like goodness and positivity and love and happiness. So I just I read a lot about spiritual leaders and inspirational leaders and good people on this planet who've come and gone. And that's always interesting to me.
Good one. Good one. All right. One last question. What advice would you give your younger self?
That's a really good question.
Oh, thank you.
I think I probably would have said,
don't do it.
Never doubt the business. Yeah, there were times in my career where I was worried, like, especially in my 20s when I graduated school. I was actually a business owner. I was the CEO of a company, a temp and permanent agency. And I started that business, which was a good thing in my life, but I really wanted to act full time. And I probably would have whispered in my ear, like, just do it. Just jump in. Don't have any fears. Yeah. And that goes for anything in life. Jump in, enjoy life, and have fun with a smile on your face.
Yeah. Well, it's very nice talking to you. Thank you for coming on the show.
To you. Yeah, I can't wait.
I'll be sure next time I see you to properly introduce myself.
Yes, and a big hug.
Yeah.
That is one thing.
Hey, I got you there. I'm a hugger.
Good.
Thank you.
Are we still allowed to do that?
Fuck yeah.
That's actually one of the things I was going to talk about. Now, I want to throw out one thing. Now, I will say, if you ever need me to back you up at a con, Now, I'm not going to kick the shit out of the guy in the elevator. I'll give him a stern talking to and point my finger, but now I will not resort to violence. I would take a bullet for you.
It wasn't violence as much as it was the honor of a friend. Protecting the honor of a friend.
Good enough. I will do what I have to do, but I'm a big puss. Now,
so it's more that than like beating the shit out of someone.
I do want to talk about the elephant in the room, because this has really just come up in a wave over the last couple of weeks, this whole COVID-19 thing. I mean, we went from everybody, all the cons around on the East Coast were saying, yes, we're good, we're going to take precautions. And then in the last week, I mean, they've been just boom, 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 drop. Of course, sport. I think when the sports domino dropped, then that went, all the cons went, oh, thank God nobody can cuss at us now. Because I know that they were afraid. What's in the con celebrity faction? How do you all feel about this? And I mean, do you miss the cons, or are you glad that they've dropped the ball? I mean, dropped the hammer.
I freaking miss them. I had a con every single weekend through the next several months. I think it's good that we as a nation are taking time, and I always try to think of it maybe in a different way. Like, okay, so we have to self-quarantine, and our schools are shut here for the next month. We're taking time to slow this virus down by being self-contained. My take on it is, let's regroup with those that we love, our children, our families, and maybe slow down and just hug each other at home, take care of one another at home, laugh, watch movies, and then we'll be ready to jump back in, and we'll appreciate it more. You always appreciate more of what you haven't, of what you've lost for a little while. So I'm just going to jump in big time and hug every single person the next few conventions, every convention I did.
Before the convention started canceling, though, had you given any thought, okay, if we go forward with this? Now, honestly, if I was a celebrity, I have no problem going into a room full of crowded people, cough on me, I don't care. The thought of flying on an airplane with these diseased bastards, and I don't just mean coronavirus. Mm-hmm. That's what scares me, the traveling part.
I was just in Arkansas 2 weeks ago. Certainly you have to be aware of it, and you need Purell and sprays just because you don't want to give anyone anything. And certainly, you want to protect everyone around you. That never bothers me. It doesn't bother me to go fly or be in crowded rooms. I was set to go everywhere. And then I had to cancel Canada because they were saying, well, the international, and then slowly the con started canceling. I respect all of the decisions. I hope we all take really good care of ourselves during this time. We're all here for each other. We're going to be okay. Let's do more of this. Let's do more Skype interviews, and to keep everyone's level of happiness and the momentum of we're still here together kind of intact.
Well, I'll just send you a list of people that I want to talk to, and if you know them, you can put it in a good word.
Let's do that. I'm going to say it right here. I'm going to do a lot more. Like, I'm on Instagram, Felissa Rose 123. I will be on my Instagram live constantly, during this time, talking to people, and certainly kind of, reaching out to anyone who just needs to talk. I think a lot of people right now are feeling we're going to have cabin fever. We're going to be, kind of during this time, we're going to be isolated. So let's just stick together and figure out ways that best suit this new scenario for the next month.
And one thing I want to say, now we've already had fun. We had fun with it before the show. When she saw the toilet paper in the background, she thought I was hilarious. She went and got her own toilet paper. She was afraid to display it on the stove. Because
I don't know where it is.
But this shows, getting back to the whole societal divide. We've fallen now into two camps. The people whose hair are on fire And the people like me, I've not really heard that many people make fun of the coronavirus or say this is a bunch of bullshit. But a lot of us are trying to deal with it with humor. I am the toilet paper meme king. I like to Never Found Tonight's banner because I have posted so many funny toilet paper memes this week.
Good. That's what you have to do. If you can't find the humor in it, then we're all gonna get the virus, die, and we didn't laugh. I mean, not to be morbid, but everything in life has to have some levity.
Now, this is something that I brought up on Facebook today. Now, you've been in a lot of movies, and I'm sure in the course of doing all these horror movies, several of them lean towards the apocalypse. Do you think that writers have been neglectful in pointing out that when the world does end, that there's going to be this enormous run on toilet paper?
I'm writing, my next script is called Toilet Paper. And it's all about how we're trying to find the last roll. Put up. No, I think, look, everybody has to do what's right for them. Certainly I have my own opinions. I know my friends have different opinions. Just take it one day at a time. That's all we can do.
I just always, okay, yeah, bullets and peanut butter, I'm on board. It never occurred to me that I would want to, have a 6-month supply of toilet paper. But those of us who didn't get a 6-month supply are now starting to look very, very suspiciously when the cat walks in the bathroom. I'm just saying.
That's awesome.
Now, when assuming things get back to normal, what is your next con that you have coming up that's still on the docket?
I have Crypticon Seattle. I have Pot Rockin' Horror. I'll be going to Germany. I'll be going to the UK. I have New Jersey HorrorCon. None of them were canceled. They were all just pushed a little bit. Motor City Nightmares. I'm, the Houston Horror Film Festival, Days of the Dead Indie, Days of the Dead Chicago, whatever is happening. Well, I'm just going to jump in there and be the crazy person who I'm going to bring a lot of toilet paper to the conventions and I'm going to throw it around.
Oh yeah, autograph one sheet at a time. That would kind of be awesome.
Toilet paper.
That would kind of be awesome. Now the only other question, I think I asked you something like this before, but when I go to your IMDb page, it gives me a headache. How in the hell can you do all these conventions and you have right now stuff that you've done? I realize you didn't film all this last week, but in post-production down to this ready to be released, God, there gotta be 40 freaking movies there. There's how do you find time to be the famous actress that you are and still do all these fan conventions?
Well, fortunately, the conventions are on the weekend, so I've been doing this thing where I'll do the convention and then I fly to film and then I go to another convention, and it's worked out really well. It's just like a great balancing act, and because I love connecting with people at the conventions, and quite honestly, I'm a fan, so I love going to the conventions to meet people that I'm madly in love with and just excited to talk to. And I love my work. I love acting and producing. So I just kind of figure out it's a little bit of a Rubik's Cube, but I figure it out. And I couldn't be more grateful. So happy to do it. So.
And my last question, Nun's Curse. When do we get to see this thing?
That comes out, it's either the end of May or early June. But I'm crazy about social media, so I post everywhere, and certainly when I have the final date from Tommy Faircloth, I'll post it. And Terrifier 2 comes out, which I'm really excited about. Big Freakin' Rat, which is Thomas Churchill. I've been working with him. That film comes out, and like I said, Screen Test. There's a bunch I'm really thrilled by, and I've had just an amazing time working on them. So thank you for asking me that.
Well, what can I say? I got to see the makeup last time, so I was looking.
That was
It's one of these that I'm waiting with bated. I don't sit around waiting for a lot of horror movies. Yours and Sky Sharks, I think, are. I'm just dying to see Sky Sharks. This thing they've been working on it for like 10 years now. When it comes out, it's gonna be the next Star Wars. I have no doubt. Felissa, once again, I want to thank you for coming on the show. You're always a delightful guest.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for just keeping everybody's spirits up, and I appreciate you, and I'm grateful. Thank you.
And everybody, we're going to say goodbye to her. And this is why I do it live. See, if y'all did this shit live, you couldn't. You'd go nuts. You'd go absolutely nuts. Tell Kane I said hi.
I will.
Everybody, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back with more of me and Billy.
Bye, guys.
Do you feel lost in life? Do you seem to be stuck in emotions that are not yours? Is your home not the sanctuary it should be? Contact Spirit Mechanics, where they take a team approach to your metaphysical and spiritual problems. Spirit Mechanics specializes in aura cleansing, stone attunement, attachment removal, and house cleansings. Spirit Mechanics tailors their approach to your individual spiritual path and needs. Now find them monthly at the Central Kentucky Mystical Market in Lexington. Or on Facebook by searching Spirit Mechanics, that's MECHANIX. Spirit Mechanics, for your spiritual health and well-being.
Hey, what's up, Scarefest? Glenn here from fakeshemp.net. I hope you're sitting down this week because you're going to need to. I've got a movie that comes to you directly from the bowels of hell. This one is disgusting. It's deplorable. It's despicable, and yet it's oddly delightful. This is a movie that is shocking in every single kind of way, and yet it's one of my favorites. I can't take my eyes off it, and I think it'll have the same effect on you. So let's sit back and watch the trailer for Cat Sick Blues. There are some sick and twisted movies out there with various degrees of depravity. I can think of films like Necromantic and a Serbian film, or perhaps Human Centipede 2 and Audition. And now I present to you Cat Sick Blues. This is, I guess, Australia's entry into that subgenre, except this one is much more frivolous and a lot more quirky. It was made in 2015. It tells the story of a mentally unstable guy whose grief at the loss of his pet cat compels him to bring it back to life. And the only way to do that is to perform a ritual that involves killing exactly 9 people. It's hard to describe how sick and twisted this movie is, but one detail that might help is the fact that as well as wearing clawed gloves and a cat mask, this guy also wears a massive strap-on dildo with massive barbs. And well, we all know what that's for. But hey, while it is sick and twisted, Cat Sick Blues is also a lot of fun, and I mean really fun. It flirts with various genres and it comes loaded with tricks up its sleeve. And well, I don't want to spoil anything for you because it's not too hard to come by, and I'd love for you to check it out. Director Dave Jackson has definitely created one of the most original and courageous movies I've seen in a long time, and so it's thrilling for me to know that it's an Aussie film. Ah yes, Cat Sick Blues. It is a one-of-a-kind movie, and it has to be seen to be believed. It is a twisted affair, to be sure, and I hope you do see it. I hope you get it on DVD or streaming, get your dirty little mitts all over it, or your clawed fingers, I should say. I saw this one at Monster Fest for the first time several years ago, and it's the most reactionary movie-going experience I've ever had. And I do this shit a lot, so that says everything. So definitely check it out, Cat Sick Blues. In the meantime, don't forget to catch my podcast, Good Movie Monday, 6 a.m. every Monday, Australian time that is, which for you guys is 2 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. That's much easier for you. You're already awake. You don't have to get up for it. So catch me then, and until next week, ciao.
Akashic Awareness is a metaphysical healing and learning center unlike any other. A large selection of crystals, gems, and minerals greet you as you walk in the door, but from that point onward, the journey is yours. They offer a great selection of metaphysical tools, state-of-the-art holistic healing, with classes and lectures scheduled throughout the month. Akashic Awareness is open Tuesday through Saturday, noon until 6:30, 7 on Friday and Saturday. Visit their website for a current calendar of their almost daily special events and guests at akashicawareness.com. And while you are there, be sure to join their email list to stay current. Akashic Awareness, 328 Sycamore Street, Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
Join us at the Universal Energy Expo May 2nd and 3rd at the Northern Kentucky Convention Center. Meet celebrity guest Coyote Chris Sutton. Door prizes and workshops available with admission. While here, check out our readers, healers, and one-of-a-kind vendors. Admission the day of the event is $15 daily, $20 for a weekend pass. Discount tickets now available at the Silverwolf at 4205 Richardson Road in Independence, Kentucky. The Universal Energy Expo. Come curious, leave enlightened.
Horror history this week brings us what is known as the largest reported UFO sighting in the world. Back in 1997 at around 7 p.m. in Henderson, Nevada, a man reported seeing a V-shaped object in the sky that had 5 glowing lights. The object had been moving at a pace too slow to be an aircraft and reportedly sounded like rushing air. Just minutes after the first report, numerous other people called local authorities to report seeing the same object. The lights reportedly changed colors from red to orange and even white, and after being observed for a few minutes, the lights disappeared only to reappear a short time later in Arizona. In total, the object and lights were seen in the night sky by thousands of people for approximately 2 hours in a span of over 300 miles. To this day, the incident is still unexplained. Horror movie history brings us a Stephen King short story adaptation of Children of the Corn in 1984. A cornfield in Gatlin, Nebraska is taken over by an evil force known as He Who Walks Behind the Rose. And this evil force possesses the children of this town to kill anyone over the age of 18. When an unsuspecting couple stumble into this town after finding a dead body, the leader of the children, Preacher Isaac, and his followers try to sacrifice the couple to their demonic deity. What follows is a brutal slasher film, and although Children of the Corn wasn't a commercial success, it is still loved by horror fans and has a solid cult following. A Wes Craven classic got a reboot this week back in 2006 with the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. A family is stranded in the desert after their car breaks down suspiciously, and they unsuspectingly are hunted by a group of cannibals. The film follows the family as they are hunted, terrorized, and brutally murdered. The film originally was given an NC-17 rating due to graphic and gruesome violence, but was later edited down to an R rating. Director Alejandra Aja, without a doubt, brought new life to this horror classic, and horror fans across the globe agreed by making this remake a commercial success. And welcome back, everybody, to the Quarantine Zone. I'm your host, Wes Forsythe, and okay, we're gonna try something different. This was Nicole Griffith's idea to give away our 3-day pass. This is the first 3-day pass that I have given away this season. We're making this tough from here on out. These things are like, well, they're not gold because that's a gold pass. You know what I mean. We're going to ask a horror trivia question, and I have a banner already posted in the Scarefest Celebrities Horror Fandom and Halloween Expo Facebook group. There's a banner that says contest post here. It has a big Scarefest 13 banner. It says contest post, Scarefest Television. You can't miss it. The first person that posts the answer to this question will win a 3-day pass. What 1978 classic horror film was originally titled The Babysitter Murders? The Babysitter Murders. The first person that I see post the answer to that under that banner will win. Bring Billy back up. Hey, Billy.
Hey.
Now, I need to turn monitor capture on. Somehow, said, yeah. No, that one. Monitor capture. Monitor capture. Monitor capture. There he is. That way I'm looking at his entire face and not just part of him. Of course, the big news this week locally was Comic-Con getting canceled.
Yeah.
Were you a little trepidatious about that?
I knew.
Well, it wasn't canceled, it was postponed. Let me be very clear.
Right,
it was
postponed. Yeah.
Oh,
well,
and we got a winner.
It was inevitable, man. It was going to happen. Too many germs and stuff, and people being carriers, and it's just logical thing to do.
If they had it, because now the night before they postponed it, they had just posted, "We're going through with this bitch." Were you planning on was your behavior going to be any different?
I was debating it. I didn't know if I was going to go or not. It's not like things were going to change overnight because they were getting progressively worse. So my brain, I'm sitting here thinking, I want to go. I want to see everybody. I'm excited, but at the same time, I don't want to get sick. So I had all them emotions going through my head. So I didn't know if I was going to go or not. And actually, I had another convention that I was going to go to. It was called Trans World. And I was going to go with the Wicked World group. And my plans was to go up there and get some interviews for Scarefest TV here because it's not a lot of us have been there. And it's like a special effects place for haunters, people who have haunted houses and things like that. And they go there and promote their all their work and things like that. And I was going to try to score some interviews up there. So I was excited about that. And, of course, it all got canceled. But I was having mixed emotions about all of it just because, never can be too safe. So.
See, I was raised a farm boy. I have no common sense whatsoever. I would have walked up to you and licked you on the face just knowing that it would have made you nervous. When there's video of me doing that other time.
Yes,
okay, we have our winner for the 3-day passes, and I'm actually going to give away 2 of them. And the reason I'm going to give away 2 of them is they were real close, but Scott Wazalewski, you are my official winner. But Deborah Hudson, thank you for playing. We're going to give you a 3-day pass just for getting the answer right and being like 10 seconds behind Scott. Because just in case my AT&T internet dicked that up, I'm going to give you both tickets. So what I'll do is I'll get in touch with both of you and give you a coupon code that you can go on the website and type that in for the 3-day pass, and it will discount it to 0, and you can print it out and all that good stuff. Okay, everybody, we're going to take our next commercial break, and then we've got our couple of segments. Billy, if you'll stick around, we might have a few minutes at the end of the show. Everybody, though, stay tuned after the show. We have the Spirit Drum coming up at 10 o'clock. With Victor Furman as the guest. We'll be right back.
Everyone is talking about CBD oil, and it seems like almost everyone is using it. The research is ongoing, but the apparent health benefits are overwhelming. If you're going to use CBD products, though, what brand should you buy? First, find out where the hemp was grown. Imports are flooding the market. How potent is it? Look for a brand that plainly states its concentration on the label. And look for full spectrum CBD. This means the oil contains CBD and all the other cannabinoids terpenes and nutrients that are found in the entire cannabis plant. Look for Blue Leaf CBD oil. Blue Leaf Naturals is a Kentucky proud company. They use only Kentucky-grown hemp, supporting Kentucky farmers and businesses. Visit their website at blueleafcbd.com now and use the code SMILE at checkout for free shipping.
Coyote Chris Sutton.
Shamanism.
Spiritual advisement.
Paranormal investigations.
Inspirational presentations.
Bringing light to the darkest places for over 20 years. Go to coyotechris.com to learn more.
Man, what a week. Oh, I've got these cookies. I hope you're staying safe out there and you're avoiding all the Godiva-19. See, it's a joke. First of all, I want to say, in complete seriousness, out to my friends Jared and Jamie Greer, who had to postpone Comic-Con. That was tough, and here are my thoughts, and it wasn't your fault. Now that it's all said and done, we can all sit around and watch things and have a good time at home by ourselves. But that's okay, too. Now, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do this week. Did I want to do epidemic films or pandemic films? And I decided, no, that was bad taste. So what I'm going to do is werewolves. Now, here's what's interesting. I'm not the world's biggest werewolf person. I know somewhere right now, Nick Brown heard that and he's crying. But I do like it. It's basically all Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but that's beside the point. Werewolves can be fun. And I'm going to tell you the 3 best werewolf films, okay? Let's start with John Landis's An American Werewolf in London. True story. John Landis actually wrote this script in the late 60s, early 70s when he was working on Kelly's Heroes Behind the Iron Curtain, right? And he didn't make the movie till later, till after Animal House, till he became John Landis. This and Shaun of the Dead are the 2 best horror comedies ever made. Actually, Shaun of the Dead may be slightly better, but this is my favorite werewolf film. Rick Baker did the special effects, and it holds up today. There's not much better. Dog Soldiers. You see that right there? Dog Soldiers. Dog Soldiers is a lot of fun. Neil Marshall did a movie called The Descent, which is actually one of my favorite actual scary movies. It's scary to me. I'm claustrophobic. The Dog Soldiers came before that. And what Dog Soldiers is about, it takes place in Scotland. These British soldiers are doing a weekend kind of out in the woods type of deal, and they get caught up with werewolves. That's the story. It's kind of Aliens with werewolves. I think the werewolves look great in this, even though it was low budget. The acting is superb. It has a ton of great British and Scottish actors in it. So check out Dog Soldiers. If you've never seen it, I cannot recommend this movie highly enough. My 3rd favorite werewolf film is, I thought I had a copy of it and couldn't find it actually over there, Ginger Snaps. If you've never seen Ginger Snaps, it's the story of Ginger and her sister. It's basically a metaphor for coming of age, for a woman finding her womanhood, or a girl finding her womanhood. However, she gets bitten late one night by a werewolf and starts to transform, and we follow her through that. Like I said, it's a metaphor. It's a fantastic film. There's a lot of character development. We see both of the sisters as they change into different people and grow apart, which happens in families. It's one of my favorite werewolf films, and you can't go wrong. I know what you're saying. Oh, you didn't mention this one, and you didn't mention that one. I know. There was one runner-up, and it came out right about the same time that American Werewolf London did, and it's directed by one of my favorite directors, Joe Dante. Look at this. Who is that? Is it The Howling? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The Howling, actually, John Sayles, the great John Sayles, independent filmmaker, was one of the writers on this. He actually knew Joe Dante because they both worked for Roger Corman back in the day. And John Sayles wrote the Piranha script. If you've ever seen Piranha, the original Piranha, that's also directed by Joe Dante, and that was a ripoff of Jaws. And if you have all this time on your hands because you can't teach a night class like you usually do, or you're not going to be moderating like you usually do, and your March is opened up, you know what you should do? Check out 124 episodes of Bonehead Weekly. We've got plenty for you. That's over 2,000 hours of not entertainment. I can't do simple math. This is Joe Lewis with Bonehead Weekly saying stay safe. Love you, Scarefest.
Away in a manger.
No, don't know that one.
Are you serious? How about Oh Holy Night? Oh Christmas Tree.
I do not.
Oh come all ye faithful.
Can't say I know that one either.
Are you kidding me? Oh, for heaven's sakes!
Now, I have heard of that.
That's not even a song! Do you know any Christmas carols?
Yeah, Joy to the World. Yep, I know that one, just like the back of my hand.
Why didn't you say so? A joy to the world it is. You ready? Stand up.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
You're going to sing with us.
Yeah. Joy to the world, Santa Claus eats cookies. That's how come he's fat. I like him a lot. He brings me some presents. Yeah, sometimes I'm bad, and he leaves me some coal. That how come I never freeze in the winter. Thank you.
Enough. Let's just get started.
Okay.
Moron. Quick, take a seat.
Oh, all right.
How about something to keep the festive spirit going?
What? It's Christmas already?
Watch the screen. Talk about what you see. Today's experiment is Santa Claus. Yes, this is Santa Claus' mighty kingdom, as he enslaves all the forest creatures into his service. He flies through the sky, and then he lands at his palace. He is so powerful, Labration, that he can actually summon the elements to lower him from his sled. These are all his prisoners in his wonderful castle. He even has a strange weapon that he uses to shoot beams at other holiday creatures.
What's this rated?
This is a giant snowball floating in space that he worships.
That's not yours, little girl. Put that back.
Merlin, the wizard of Arthurian legend. Legend has it that he went insane and was abducted by Santa Claus and the devil into the North Pole. Now he stays there and does strange magical spells on children. The devil was trying to tempt that child, Horatio. You understand that? Now, imagine this. You're stuck up in a tree and a dog's jumping at you. What do?
I make cookies and milk.
Santa Claus is now going to kill the devil. Now Santa Claus has artillery. Wonderful. It's shaping up to be a wonderful movie.
That tree's dead. But I love you, Santa Claus.
Back then, they only put up dead trees.
That's the craziest looking little Santa Claus I ever seen before. A little Muppet. I don't even know what the heck's going on here. You're not getting the tricycle. Go to sleep. There's no Santa Claus.
Yes, kid, don't drink the Kool-Aid.
There you go. Kiss that hand. Kiss that hand. Could you explain to me, sir, what's going on here?
Look at that. Family Film Award.
I thought it said Golden Girls for a split second.
Excellent work, Labratio. Marvelous effort. Now that it's over, I want you to tell me how you're feeling.
I'm feeling kind of jolly. And, my mind's full of goodwill towards my fellow man. I gotta go. I got places to be and people to see, kids to meet.
Billy,
you never know what you're going to get.
What stands out to me about that little feature, I had no idea Dan Nation was so talented.
He is. He's very talented. Me and him, that drama I mentioned earlier, talking to Felissa, that's where I met Daniel Nation at. He was in the Harrisburg drama with me.
Anybody can act. That man can play the violin.
He sure can.
See, that's what...
Yeah.
Of course, I can't act. And you've seen me. Anytime I actually have to read something, I sound like a bad Southern Baptist minister. But anyway, everybody, this has been Scarefest Television. Of course, our condolences go out to Comic-Con having to reschedule, but they have rescheduled. Watch all your social media posts, everybody. Of course, this weekend, the Mystical Market. It's a monthly thing, but we did do the responsible thing, and the Central Kentucky Mystical Market is off the grid this week. Let's everybody go out there, be safe. And I'm going to, before I end the show, I'm going to give the governor of the state of Kentucky my congratulations. He actually came out with the best advice that I have heard anybody in all of these talking heads on TV give. He said, not only to act like you don't want to catch it, act like you have it and you don't want to give it to somebody. Everybody do that. We will all be safe, and this will be down. This will be a bad memory before you know it. Catch you next week.
Yeah, boy.